when I'm doing full screen, yeah, now it is fine. That I will discuss about that Cronbach alpha and ordinal alpha for reliability estimations. That I will mainly highlight that today's now our presentation objectives mainly will be that to understanding the concept of the reliability of the developed psychometric scale using Cronbach alpha and ordinal alpha. I will try to cover very quickly that basic concept of the Cronbach alpha, demonstration in Excel, demonstration in SAS, and understanding the ordinal alpha in relation to the Cronbach alpha, and demonstration of ordinal alpha in both startup and using the Excel. Yesterday I shared the both the original paper of the both the two alpha, that is Cronbach and ordinal alpha. Ordinal Cronbach alpha was conceptualized in 1952. That original paper I published in Psychometric I shared with you, as well as that ordinal alpha that Gederman has conceptualized in near about 2007 to 2012. That was also I share with you all the every details is there and mechanisms is there. We will not discuss the mechanism. We will discuss here how you can apply it. That we already told that internal consistency will be measured through the Cronbach alpha. Cronbach alpha is an indicator of consistency. That is, it is not about the homogeneity, not about the unidimensionality. Unidimensionality, Dr. Paul is already told. It gives only the internal consistency of our developed scale. Definitely, I told that whenever you have developed a skill, that at the end of the developed scale, you must have the unidimensionality has to be measured. And then followed by that reliability will be has to be measured, and with the reliable scale will be the a good one to follow it. So here before Cronbach alpha, what was there? That mainly that split up reliability was there and Kuda Richardson are there. What are the split up means? What are the developed scale? You may divide into different parts, and accordingly you take the reliability coefficient, correlation coefficient, and according to it to say that if the correlation coefficient is significant, then it is a reliable one. But now a question is came that particular scale, suppose a scale, Dr. Paul is telling that maximum it should be 10 to 14, 12 to 14, or somehow 10. So how many possible split can we do? We made several split we do. So according to the making the different groups, that accordingly that coefficient will come. So as per the research, we may think that which is suitable for me, accordingly will take. But who will be the reviewer? They may consider, no, this is not appropriate one. You have to do that split according to this way. So therefore, this has to rectify the Cronbach alpha is nothing. Then Cronbach alpha consider when we have a number of statement, it make the number of possible split half. Jitna possible ho sakta tha, how many was possible to have that different group, that can be prepared, and accordingly will measure the coefficient. And Kuda Richardson generally used to apply where we have only dichotomous response, but sometimes we see that we have a response in different continuum. So therefore, it was not possible for use wherever more than dichotomous response. Then how reliability will be measured? So take out these issues. The Cronbach alpha came, and Cronbach alpha that I already told that all possible split halves will be considered, and then accordingly that coefficient of alpha will be considered. Though it is popularly known as that Cronbach alpha, but that the gentleman who developed this scale, that mathematician Professor Cronbach, he used to say, no, its terminology should be that only the coefficient of alpha. But there after that many alphas, ordinal alpha, omega alpha, many alphas was there. So therefore, people used to give the popularly call it that Cronbach alpha. So now the composite score. That composite score means I already told that all maximum possible halves will be prepared, and accordingly it will be calculated the coefficient. The internal consistency will be calculated, and what are the items was there. Its score should be considered. It may be the sum, it may be the average, it may be the correlation, it may be the variance. Everything has to be calculated. Then accordingly, lastly, it will calculate the Cronbach alpha. Generally, two formulas popularly used. The first one and second one. What is the difference? I will discuss. The first one is that that alpha is equal to k minus k means here the number of items or indicators or statement you consider into 1 minus a summation of all the variance in the statements. Here I is equal to the number of statement. all the variance of the statement we use divided by the total variance of the scale, developed upscale. So this is considered as the standardized. Here we are using the this is the raw coefficient score. That means we are using the variance. We are not standardizing our data. But the same thing was considered in the second formula. There we are using the R bar. R bar is nothing but the mean inter-indicator correlation coefficient. Suppose we have 5 items or 11 items, 10 items, we will do the correlation coefficient, and then accordingly with the correlation coefficient we'll take a mean values, and then mean value will be considered. So here we are using the mean, so mean not, it is correlation coefficient, then therefore it is considered as the standardized coefficient of alpha. So generally, what should be the range values to consider about the cutoff marks to whether my developed scale is acceptable or non at all acceptable? Generally, that Nunali used to say that in Cronbach alpha, that 0.7 should be considered for the exploratory research, and 0.8 for the basic research, and 0.9 for the in applied scenario. So this should be the scenario. But then again, they were categorized according to the value of your coefficient of alpha. If it is below 6, it will be not below 6, it will be below 5. It is totally the unacceptable. And from the 5 to 6, it will be considered as a poor. It should consider a very poor scale will be there. And then if it is 6 to 7, 0.6 to 0.7, it is a questionable. And above 0.7, it is we may accept our developed scale as a reliable one. And if it is 0.8 to 0.9, then it is good. And if it is more than 0.9, then it is an excellent. Then it is, suppose, an applied scenario. Suppose you developed a machineries to do something or some work. Then when it is relevant, that repeatedly you have to do, and then you have to check it. Yes, and every time it is doing a good one. That means it's reliability coefficient or 0.9 and above. So generally in social science, we used to accept when our reliability coefficient is 0.7 and above. If below 0.7 and above, then you may discard it. But sometimes the question may arise, you develop all the scale and all the pathway you crossed, and at the end of this, when trying to calculate the reliability coefficient, sometimes you found that it is near about 0.6 to 0.7. Then what will do? That I will show you that during my demonstration how we can use it. So this is the brief about the what the Cronbach alpha is. Now I will demonstrate, then it will be very clear to you. And let's have the data first. Suppose in the first class we discussed that in first class or first presentation of mine, that is we are trying to develop an attitude scale of the dairy farmers to measure their attitude towards conservation of indigenous and dairy breed. We know that there are 38 statement was there, and suppose we think that we already developed the scale, and we found that this 15 statement was finally selected. Though Dr. Paul told that it will be 10 to 14, but suppose we have selected that 15 statement has been selected, and then now we have to try to calculate the reliability coefficient. Again, we collected the data. Somebody asked me in the morning that what should be the minimum number of sample when you collected the data for the reliability coefficient. And I will share with a paper. Just now I plan that I will show that paper, but at the moment I will not share through the screen. It is told that they have been calculated that what should your it depends mainly the what should be the number of your statement, and it is depend on that what should your expected desire coefficient. If you have that desire that it should be near about 0.75, and they told that minimum number should be 20, or sometimes I suggested personally 30 sample, because again in the beginning I told that some irrational response has to be discussed. So if you initially selected 30, that you may come to up to 20, that can you may helpful. But I found that another paper, another researcher told that no, that whatever the number of statement you have, then into 10 respondent has to be selected. Suppose here we have the 15 statement. He told that 15 into 10, then it will be that 150 respondents should be required. I do not know that a very huge gap was there in the two papers, because we are not the expert to that do all the mechanism. This is the mathematicians are doing. That I found that where the gentleman told that 10, it is not a research paper. He was sharing his views in a research discussion forums. And whatever I'm telling about the 20 minimum or 30, I'm telling that is a papers is there that Malay and that I can share. Let me share with you. This is the paper. Here the paper is that a review of sample size determination for Cronbach alpha test, a simple guide for the researchers. How can select this test? He prepared this table here. Elaborate table was there. He was preparing that this is the K means the number of statement. Here he put that two null hypothesis selected, and accordingly he said that what should be your targeted coefficient, and accordingly the number of sample he has been considers. Then accordingly he give the guidelines. So accordingly you may follow. So therefore from his gist I was telling that you may you may take the sample at least 30 to have your good result in your research correlation coefficient. So now we'll do that. How we can by calculating, we can calculate easily that correlation coefficient, reliability coefficient in Excel itself. How we can do? We can do just here. We'll take that our formula number 1. There we use the. I think yesterday you have said the paper. You can have the copy that in raw. On raw scores, we have to calculate the statement-wise variance. Let me first calculate the variance of each statement. I'm calculating that variance of the each statement we are calculating. We calculated. Now the sum of all variance also we are also calculating. Our formula was there that number of indicators or statement divided by k minus 1 into 1 minus summation of all statements variance divided by total variance. Now total variance we have to calculate it. This is we calculated as per the statement wise. Now a total variance we will calculate here. Here a total value, total aptitude score we are calculating the sum simple. So we are getting total, and then we are calculating his variance also. Already though it was calculated, net against one calculated it. And we haven't calculated it. Now what will be our alpha value? The alpha will be, if you calculated that k here, k is the 15. If you identify the number of the selected, it is the count is the 15. That is the total. We have the 15 statement selected. Then alpha is equal to 15 divided by 15 minus 1, that is 14 into 1 minus that sum of all statement variance, that is 1, and then divided by total variance. So we got it 62.63, but it was telling that it was near about below the or acceptance range. We calculated it. Now let's check it with what is called that we'll calculate it. This is based on the raw data. Now we'll check it with the standardized on the correlation coefficient. The same thing you can do the correlation coefficient of all these 15 statements and accordingly take the value. So but quickly I will do through SPSS. Then it will help me to save the time today, because in the last day we should not take too much to you. Actually, I should open the SPSS before, but I did not do because I was extremely busy during Sudipta's presentation to fix the internet issue. I think now whatever I presented till now, is it undisrupted presentation to reach to you, or got disturbance in the meantime? Can anybody give me the feedback?
No disturbance, sir. Good presentation.
Okay, no disturbance. Thank you very much for your feedback. Now let's me take the same data. Same data is here. Now just simply do the analysis. Go to the analyze, now to the scale, and then the reliability analysis. In the reliability analysis, you just select all the statement. Here I fix only the model here. Alpha means that Cronenberg alpha. Other models is there. I will not select. So here I will do that based on the correlation and scale, and then scale the item if it is deleted. Let's do the continue. So see that now we got the value that we have the 60 samples, and no exclude was there. Here the two values that the Cronenberg alpha based on the standardized item, it is coming 0.688. It is coming 0.623. What we collected in our Excel sheet. Here we collected the through Excel sheet. It is the only 0.60, the same value. It's came here also non-standardized data, and this is the meaning interpolation coefficient. So I will see here only the take another. Suppose here also in the through standardized also we does not reach the cutoff mark. The cutoff mark is 0.7, but though if you to take that after digit 1 value, then we may take the 7, but it is not justifiable one. But in case of raw data, it is also only 6 to 9, the 0.63 it is coming. Then how may take these issues? If you see this correlation coefficient, particularly you may find that some indicator will be there whose values are very not highly correlated with the each other. So that may we discuss. So here, if you see that this table, it will guide you. If you see that the first only this fourth column, that corrected total corrections. If you see that corrected total columns here, it is guiding you that how it is contributing the total reliability coefficient, overall reliability coefficient by each of the indicators. It is suggested that I was attended on workshop at University of California, Los Angeles. They are telling that how will select it. That if you found any values whose value is 0.3 and less, these values, this indicator has to be discarded because they are not contributing too much to the overall Cronenberg alpha, or sometimes their correlation coefficient is also getting a nuisance to get a highly reliability of the scale. So now let's check which of the statements are having the problem here. We are getting the statement number. We are facing the problem here. Statement number 7 have the value 0.03. So statement number 7 we may discard. we may discard statement number 12, and then we may discard the statement number 18, and we may discard the statement number 28, and others are also about the 0.3. So let's see what will happen if we discard this statement for further analysis. Again, we do the analysis, the scale, reliability coefficient, and just discard this statement number 7, statement number 12, statement number 18, and statement number 28. I think almost everything has fixed previously what we did. Again, do it. You see that it is improved the value. That means what Dr. Paul was telling that your statement should not be more than 10 to 14. And if it is there, then there may be a problem that unidimensionality or different reliability. See that when we just 15 to we remove that 4 statement, now it is come to 0.764 and 0.81 in the standardized one. Now it is accepted. If you want that again, your further scale should be developed or further reliability. If you see that here, this is the guidelines for this column. Last column, that Cronbach alpha item deleted. If you deleted the statement number 2, this will be the Cronbach alpha. Suppose accordingly, if you see, if you deleted the statement number 32, then that Cronbach alpha values will be extremely high. It will be 0.76. That is extremely high. That means that this gentleman, the statement number 32 is maybe creating the problem to does not have that good reliability coefficient in your developed scale. So that you may ignore it. Then accordingly, your value of the scale will increase. Let's do once again by removing the statement number 32. Then we remove it and click it, and then you see that now it is came that whatever we found that it is so that if we remove that item, it will be 0.76. So now this what are the statement, final statement in your scale, it will give you a good idea that which statement will be selected. Why generally sometimes I used to prefer to the Excel to guide the students also. We everybody have the Excel facility, because I'm presenting the spaces, and spaces in Excel we make easily simple calculate the single values that whether my scale is reliable or not. But in case of if we apply the spaces here, we easily identify that which statement particularly creating a problem. Now how many statements we have? We have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 statements are there. Now these statements are the good one, which can measure the attitude of the dairy farmers towards to measure their attitude towards conservation of indigenous dairy bovine meat. So these ultimately will be selected. So now if you at the end, if we say that what are the steps to be followed, again this is the third time you have to collect the data for your scale development. First one you did for the relevancy test. Second, we do it for the item analysis, and then third third time you did for the your reliability coefficient. When now your scale is prepared, I received some questions that people are asking that how many continuum will be there in the final scale. My suggestion will be there the number of continuum you consider during the scale development, then please continue the same one. If you previously selected 5 continuum for item analysis, again do the same one. For your further final scale. Accordingly, if you 7, it will keep it 7. If you did the 11, then you give the 11 or 9 according to your choice. Now the problem is that everything was fine, but in 2007 to 8, the gentleman Gadarman was telling that what are the response we have. What are the response we have? It is these are the, if you say the values of the SPSS. If we see the data, these are all the ordinal data, and we are calculating generally that in mechanisms under the SPSS, it is calculating the Pearson correlation coefficient. So generally it is suggested that Pearson correlation coefficient may be considered for the continuous data set. So therefore he just did little changes, not all the changes. He said don't because in our mechanisms it is considered the correlation coefficient. He said do only one thing simple, use that use of Pearson correlation coefficient, use only that polychoric correlation coefficient, what we presented during our PCA based scaling technique. That polychoric correlation coefficient, you can use it. then the polychronicity coefficient can be used for the further analysis. I will take only 5 minutes to demonstrate this one, the polychronicity coefficient, how you can do it. Those who have the doubt in the mind during the polychronicity coefficient, again you may check it also. That how we are doing. I'm taking my data here. If anybody has interested to do this calculating the alpha in R, I have the code I can share with them, or I have another paper that I can share with them that will guide you to how to do in the R. Because I'm using the polychronicity coefficient in startup, because on that day also I did it simple. I do the polychronicity. Here I will not do the consider all the variables. I will do only the 5 variables, because if we do all these things, then again I have to do in the Excel sheet. It may take time. So I got this polychronicity coefficient, and then I just simple copied it. Now we have to calculate the simple average of the polychronicity coefficient. Sorry, I missed the one step. Here we have to take the absolute value, because here we are considering the coefficient, not their direction. Here negative correlation coefficient is indicating their direction, whether they're negatively related or positively related. So we'll take the absolute value first. So we got the average value here. Now the simple we put it here, that alpha is equal to the same formula for the same formula what we have in case of coefficient of alpha, that is Cronbach alpha, the same formula, that is K into R. K means here the number of variables or statement. Here it is, we consider on the 5 into we have this value. Then divided by 1 plus K means here 5 minus 1, you can write it, and then we got it here 0.666. Just I'm giving you the demonstration. 0.66 we got the value, and then it is called as the ordinal alpha, because we consider the polychronicity coefficient. Let's see what would be the difference if we use the polychronicity coefficient as well as that that means ordinal alpha as well as that Cronbach alpha. Remember that we took the variables here on the indicators 2, 3, 7, 12 and 16. The same thing we'll do here once again. that analyze the scale we took only 5, that is that 2, 3, 7, 12 and 16. We took it the first 5 one and then see that it is there. So here we got it. See, there Cronbach alpha is getting only standardized on getting the point 334, but in the same time here we got it at 0.666. So definitely that means we are overestimating the data that in case of Cronbach alpha. So sometimes that may create for your research to get the exact reliability coefficient, because that I told you that basic thing is that stat is a very good tools, but you have to know that when, where, how to apply this stat. And in extension research, if you have that clear-cut idea about the different level of measurement, and I'm very much strict to that one, that level of measurement, sometimes people are ignoring that level of measurement. If you are following the level of measurement, then definitely many problem will be solved easily. So here according to data, the level of measurement was ordinal, so therefore I use that ordinal alpha, then I got that very good values of the reliability coefficient. I took the 5 sample, 5 indicators. You may do that for any values or any number, whatever in your scale or scheme, that if it's 10, 15, 12, 8, whatever may be, that accordingly you may apply and you may calculate 8. So this is the all about this reliability coefficient regarding this ordinal alpha as well as that Cronbach alpha. So if anybody